Today's topic is about how a narcissist can break you down and make you suffer even after you've separated from them. I'll also share 3 ways you can overcome what happened to you with a narcissist and move past the narcissistic abuse, God willing. Hello and welcome. In today's episode, we'll talk about narcissism. Before we dive in, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Also, click the notification bell to stay updated with all our new content. All right, everyone, let's agree that leaving a narcissistic relationship or dealing with what comes after breaking up with a narcissist, whether you're the one who left or they left you, unfortunately, when you get out of that relationship, you feel like something inside you is broken. There are cracks in your personality. It feels like you're seeing yourself for the first time. This will be our topic in this episode, so at least we understand exactly what's happening to us. It's well known, guys, that the narcissist is a master and an artist in manipulating other people's minds. Before you met or got involved with a narcissist, you were mentally stable. You were always willing to please others and help people sincerely, even though you did all that for the person you got involved with. And unfortunately, they responded with continuous insults and abuse to your personality and mind. You still try to keep calm, find excuses, and justify things any way possible, even if it meant sacrificing yourself so the relationship could continue. But unfortunately, because of the ongoing emotional and psychological abuse and your lack of experience and inability to predict the narcissist's behavior, a state forms inside your mind that makes you feel like, as they say, you're walking on eggshells, scared to make a mistake, scared to speak up, scared to do anything, because he's always criticizing you and your actions. You always feel afraid to speak or act, so you don't mess up and get blamed as usual. Even after breaking up with a narcissist, you can't easily get back to the person you were before. You stay for a while suffering from this because you have a kind of loss of self-confidence. Another way the narcissist breaks you down, which is one of the outcomes of the narcissistic relationship, is that they try to completely disconnect you from yourself, making you feel like a totally different person. Throughout the relationship, you keep thinking about what he likes and doesn't like. All your actions revolve around his desires. You always ask yourself, if I do this, will he get angry? Will he be upset or not? You constantly carry the worry about the narcissist's reaction, which you don't even expect sometimes, even if you didn't do anything deserving of his angry reaction toward you. Unfortunately, you keep asking yourself, what happened? I didn't do anything to deserve all this anger. Why is he so mad? Why is he treating me this way? During your relationship with a narcissist, all your thinking turns into anything but yourself. Your focus is on everything except your own feelings. Your only concern is to please the narcissist you're with. That's why when a victim leaves the relationship, you really feel like a totally different person. It becomes very difficult to return to your natural personality, the one you had before you got involved with him. The problem is that after you leave the relationship, you find yourself afraid to look at yourself or your feelings because they feel strange to you. You are never allowed to think about them at all. You are never allowed to disagree with anything or get angry at any abusive behavior. You weren't even allowed to get tired from your constant efforts to please him, to the point that you weren't allowed to be sick and need someone to take care of you. That's why after the breakup, you start dealing with all these feelings again from scratch, but with a sense of exhaustion because now you're dealing with 2 opposites. The first is that during your relationship with him, none of those feelings were allowed. And now, after you have your freedom and have left the abusive relationship, it's very natural that the focus you used to have on that person is gone, and you start thinking more about yourself. This happened because he acted like a block, preventing you from thinking about even the smallest right for yourself. He made you always imagine that if you explained any of these feelings, it would cause problems in your relationship with him. That's why you completely stopped thinking about yourself or your feelings. This is what we call disconnecting from yourself, which is very hard and painful to deal with, especially after breaking up with a narcissist. Another way, guys, that the abusive narcissist uses to break your personality is by making you have no relationships with anyone and not be able to communicate with anyone. This is about how a narcissist breaks your relationships with others. The narcissist never allows you to have someone in your life you can rely on or who has the ability to help you, especially help you overcome the abuse you're going through. Those people are the ones who can hold your hand to help you see yourself and take better care of yourself. That's why, one by one, the narcissist isolates you from everyone around you in a way that, even after you leave him, you find it difficult to reconnect with others again. These guys are ways the narcissist uses to break you, break your personality, and destroy your self-confidence. That's why it's very important to know that leaving or breaking up from this toxic relationship is not the final goal or the actual end of your healing journey from the toxic relationship. It's just the first step on the path to full recovery. So once you get out of the relationship and find yourself feeling like this, you have to face yourself and ask, how can I get back to my true self and fix these things again? It's very important that to overcome the things the narcissist left inside you, you know yourself better than anyone else. And please don't underestimate this, because the most important part of the healing process is truly knowing yourself and completely avoiding the thoughts that the narcissist managed to plant inside your mind, which made you almost convinced that they were true. Like believing you can't think for yourself, or decide for yourself, or live your life without him. Be careful. If this feeling stays inside you, it will increase your weakness and your sense of defeat, making it hard for you to get through this stage easily. Your mind will keep creating feelings inside you that make you always feel scared and powerless. That's why you must allow your mind to focus more on everything you feel. You need to start completely changing your lifestyle and the routine you've been living with to force your mind to ignore all the negative feelings you're experiencing. Unfortunately, guys, the narcissist is very skilled at destroying relationships, especially their relationship with you after you separate from them. They can even make you appear a certain way in the eyes of others to the point that you start doubting and questioning whether that really is your true self. The narcissist's goal here is to make it hard for you to even think about forming a new relationship with others after your breakup and the end of your relationship with them. That's why it's never easy for you after the relationship ends to feel trust toward people, and you always find yourself afraid of getting close to them. It's very important that you start reconnecting with the people who were there for you before. Those the narcissist was careful to make you cut ties with because they feared these people might influence you. Try to start rebuilding these relationships and bonds. This will help you greatly to overcome the shock you're going through. Keep in mind that having a support group is extremely important for you, and this support group can be people who have gone through similar experiences. They will be the ones who understand you best and empathize with you. Just being able to open your heart and talk safely about what you've been through is a very important part of the healing process from this trauma. You need to learn how to rebuild the relationships you broke off, those that were a main source of support for you on your journey through narcissistic abuse. I know this is a bit difficult, especially for people who have just left the relationship, but it's a very necessary step on your path to full recovery. When a person is abused by someone they're supposed to love and feel safe with, it's a very difficult shock because you should feel reassured by the presence of that person, the one who's supposed to love you. The hardest thing in the world is to be abused or betrayed by the one you trust the most and feel safe with. The hardest thing is when the one you love and trust most is the one who hurts you and abuses you. That's what forces you, whether you want it or not, to learn to shut yourself off and stay alone rather than risking going through something like that again. To heal completely from the relationship, you must understand very well exactly what happened and be aware that you were subjected to abuse and trauma by people you gave your entire life, attention, and trust to. People you thought loved you the most and cared about you deeply. Because of all that, and because it all broke down in front of you, it becomes very difficult to trust anyone again. Now, we all have enough information to help us sense whether the person we're dealing with might be narcissistic or not. That's why I'm confident that you will be able to clearly distinguish the people you can truly trust or reconnect with again from those who might cause you problems again. Try to think more about the people who really care about your well-being and genuinely think about you, and strengthen your relationship with them. If you truly manage to do this, you will start to break the cage the narcissist locked you in for so many years. If you gradually take these steps, you will be able to help yourself begin to move on and get rid of all the damage caused by your relationship with a narcissistic person. In the end, I hope you have benefited from this discussion and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode with a new topic about narcissism. Thank you, and peace be upon you.